Hi there, I'm here once again, Ms. Upashna, and if you've watched my previous videos, then you know that I am a guide for you all for a better understanding of the Tempest. Okay, so in today's video, I will be doing certain portions from Act 4 of the Tempest, basically the dialogue between the deities, okay, because I have come across students, who have this very similar queries, as to are these real goddesses or are they spirits? Is it a he or a she? All right, so I am here to solve your queries and your doubts. Okay, so we will just be doing the portion where there is the dialogue between the deities. Okay, so let's get started. So here we see in Act 4 how Prospero is very happy with Ferdinand and he gives Miranda to him, okay, under a condition that Ferdinand is not supposed to bed Miranda before Hymen's torch is lighted, meaning before the goddess of marriage, that is Hymen, blesses them. Alright, and in other words, before the sanctimonious ceremonies are performed. And Ferdinand readily accepts this, by saying that even the strongest of desires will not let him, give on his love and will not let him break his vow. Okay, so Prospero is very happy, and now Prospero wants to organize a masque to celebrate the love between Ferdinand and Miranda. Okay, and in case you do not know what a masque is, let me tell you that masque or a masquerade is a form of entertainment. It is a form of false show or a pretense. It was usually originated in Italy, but it gained popularity in England in the 16th and 17th century. Alright, and a masque usually involves dances, songs and mimes. Okay, so this is what Prospero has in mind, because he wants to show a vanity, he wants to show a vanity of his art, a specimen of his art to the young couple. Alright, so now he sends Ariel to bring spirits to perform in the masque. Okay, and now we have Ariel. Okay, so now the masque begins, and the first to enter is Iris. Alright, so Iris is the goddess of rainbow and she is the messenger of Juno. Okay, so please don't confuse yourself. Iris is the goddess of rainbow and the messenger of Juno. Juno is the wife of Jove or Jupiter, and Juno is the goddess of the sky. Okay, and then we have Ceres, and Ceres is the goddess of fertility and agriculture. Alright, so first comes Iris, and now Iris is summoning Ceres. She is addressing Ceres. Okay, so Iris says, Ceres, most bounteous lady, thy rich lair of wheat, rye, barley, vetches, oats and peas, thy turfy mountains where live nibbling sheep, and flat meads thatched with stover them to keep, thy banks with pined and twilled brims, which spongy April at thy behest betrims, to make cold nymphs chaste crown, and thy broom groves whose shadow the dismissed bachelor loves, being lass-lawn, thy pole-clipped vineyard, and thy sea marge sterile and rocky hard, where thou thyself dost air the queen of the sky, whose watery arch and messenger am I, bids thee leave these, and with a sovereign grace, here on this grass plot, in this very place, to come and sport. Her peacocks fly amain, approach rich Ceres, her to entertain. So here we find Iris, the goddess of rainbow and the messenger of Juno, addressing and calling Ceres. Okay, so she says, O Ceres, you bounteous lady, meaning you generous lady, to you belongs the rich fertile lands where peas, all the crops like barley, vetches, oats, rye, it grows. Okay, so to you belongs the fertile lands where these crops grow. Okay, to you also belongs the turfy mountains. Turfy mountains meaning mountains that are covered with rich pasture, where the sheep graze. Okay, so to you belongs the rich fields, to you belongs the turfy mountains, where the sheep graze on the rich pasture. Alright, and to you also belongs the flat meadows thatched with stover. Alright, so to you also belongs the meadows which are thatched with stover, meaning where stover is placed. And what is a stover? Stover means the residue of a plant. For instance, the stalk, the leaves. Okay, so the residues are often just spread on the meadows and left to dry because it can be used for fodder and fuel. Alright, so here Iris is calling Ceres by saying, "Oh, you bounteous lady, oh, you generous lady, to you belongs the rich fields, the fertile lands where the crops grow like peas, wheats, barley, vetches, rye, and oats. To you also belongs the turfy mountains, meaning the rich pasture-covered mountains where the sheep graze. To you also belongs the meadows which are thatched with stover, left to dry." Alright, and then thy banks with pionned and twilled brims, which spongy April at thy hest betrims. Pionned and twilled brims meaning marigolds. So to you also, not only the fertile lands, not only the turfy mountains, not only the meadows thatched with stover, but to you also belongs the river banks where the marigold flowers bloom. And those marigold flowers are plucked in the month of April, with your permission, to make chaste crowns for the nymphs. Nymphs mean the spirits dwelling on water bodies. Okay, so to you also belongs the rich river banks where the marigold flowers bloom. Okay, and thy broom groves whose shadow the dismissed bachelor loves, being Laslown. And to you also belongs the broom groves, the shadow of which is loved by a rejected lover, a dismissed lover meaning a rejected lover who is Laslown, who is rejected in love. So the shadow of your broom grove is loved by a dismissed lover where he sits in melancholy. Okay, apart from this, to you also belongs the pole-clipped vineyard, the grapevines and the vineyard where grapes are cultivated. Okay, and thy sea-marged sterile and rocky heart where thou thyself dost err. Okay, and so to you also belongs the shores where you yourself dwell. So to you, you are a generous lady. To you belongs the rich fertile lands. To you belongs the turfy mountains covered with rich pasture where sheep graze. To you belongs the meadows which are kept thatched with stover. Okay, to you also belongs the river banks where the marigold flowers bloom, which are plucked in the month of April to make crowns for the nymphs. Okay, to you also belongs the broom groves, the shadow of which is loved by a rejected lover. He loves sitting there in melancholy. Okay, to you also belongs the vineyards where grapes are cultivated. Okay, and to you also belongs the shores where you yourself dwell. Okay, but I tell you to leave all this. Why? Leave all the fertile lands, leave all the turfy mountains, leave all the vineyards, the broom groves, the meadows, the marigold flowers, the river banks, the shores. Leave all these and come here at once. Why? Because Juno, the goddess of the sky, has sent me to call you hither on this grassland. Okay, so the queen of the sky has told me to call you here because she herself will also be joining lately. See, she will be coming in a chariot drawn by peacocks. So leave all this and come here at once. Okay, so here Iris is calling Ceres. And then Ceres comes. Hail many-colored messenger that never dost disobey the wife of Jupiter. So Ceres comes and then she greets Iris by saying, "All hail many-colored messenger," meaning goddess of the rainbow, and the one who never disobeys whatever the wife of Jove has to say. So meaning you are the messenger of Juno who never disobeys her. Okay, who with thy saffron wings upon my flowers diffuseth honey drops, refreshing showers, and with each end of thy blue bow dost crown my bosky acres and my unshrubbed down, rich scarf to my proud earth. So first Ceres comes and greets Iris by saying, "All hail, messenger of Juno and the goddess of rainbow. You are so kind. You diffuse raindrops, you bring showers to my flowers and you diffuse nectar or honey drops on my flowers. You are so generous." Okay, not only that, you also decorate my earth. You also ornate my earth with your heavenly bow, with your rainbow. Okay, you also bless my field with your rainbow, and your rainbow looks like a rich scarf that is worn by earth. So that is how you decorate my earth, my land. Okay, but tell me, okay, so she says, why hath thy queen summoned me hither to this short grassed green? So tell me, why has Juno, or the goddess of the sky, called me here on this grassland? For what reason? And then Iris says, a contract of true love to celebrate, and some donations freely to estate on the blessed lovers. Okay, so Iris says, Juno has called us here to celebrate a contract of true love. Meaning, Juno has called us here on this island, on this grassland, to celebrate the love between Ferdinand and Miranda. And we are also to donate on these couple our blessings. We are also to bless the couple. So that is the reason why Juno has called us here. Alright, and now there is a question in the mind of Ceres. Ceres asks, tell me, heavenly bow, if Venus or his son, hast thou, as thou dost know, do now attend the queen, since they did plot the means that Duskade is my daughter got, her and her blind boy's candled company I have forsworn. So now here there is a question in the mind of Ceres, and she asks Iris, okay? Alright, so tell me one thing, Iris. Okay, tell me this, heavenly bow. Tell me this, you goddess of rainbow. Will Venus and her son Cupid also be present in the celebration? Because you know, I hate their company and I avoid their company. Okay, so now Ceres wants to know whether Venus and her son Cupid will also be present in the celebration. Alright, and Venus, we know, is the goddess of love and beauty, and her son Cupid is the angel who is often, painted blind, holding a bow and an arrow to shoot humans and make them fall in love. Okay, so Ceres wants to know whether they will also be attending the celebration, because she hates them and she has been avoiding their company. Why? Because once Venus and her son Cupid had plotted with Pluto or Hades, the god of the underworld. Alright, so once Venus and her son Cupid had helped Pluto or the Hades, the god of the underworld, to abduct Proserpina, daughter of Ceres. Okay, so once, this is the reason why Ceres avoids their company and she hates them, because they had once helped Pluto, or who is also known as Hades, to kidnap her daughter Proserpina, and that is how she had been taken to the underworld. So from that day she has been hating them and she has been avoiding their company. So she wants to know whether they will also be present in the celebration. And to this Iris says, be of their society be not afeared. I met her deity cutting the clouds towards Paphos, and her son, dove drawn with her. So Iris says, you don't have to worry about that. Don't be afraid of their company. Of their company meaning of Venus and her son Cupid's company. You don't have to worry about that. Why? Because just a while ago, while coming here, I saw them. They were in a chariot drawn by dove, and they were cutting the clouds to Paphos, meaning they were flying towards Paphos. Alright? And Paphos is supposed to be the birthplace of Venus. Okay? So Iris assures Ceres by saying, don't be afraid of their company, because I just saw them. I met her deity, meaning Venus. I just saw them. They were flying towards Paphos, and her son Cupid was also there, and they were in a chariot drawn by dove. Here thought they have done some wanton charm on this man and maid, whose vows are that no bed ride shall be paid till Hymen's torch be lighted. But in vain, Mars's hot minion is returned again. Her waspish-headed son has broken his arrows, swears he will never shoot no more. He will shoot no more, but play with sparrows, and be a boy right out. Okay, so first Iris says, you don't have to worry about their company, because I saw them flying towards Paphos, and they were in a chariot drawn by dove. And they looked rather upset, because since they are gods and goddesses of love, so what comes with love is amorousness, sexuality, pleasure. Okay, so they wanted to play their wanton charm, meaning they wanted to play a trick upon this man and maid, meaning Ferdinand and Miranda. So they wanted to play their trick upon Ferdinand and Miranda and make them bed each other, because they are under a vow, a pledge that they must not bed each other, that Ferdinand is not supposed to break Miranda's virginity until the marriage is sanctified by Hymen. Okay, and Hymen is the goddess of marriage. So Venus and her son wanted to play their dirty tricks on this man and maid and make them bed each other. But since they were not invited, but since they were not called, they were so sad, they were so annoyed. So Mars's hot minion had returned, because here Mars's hot minion meaning it refers to Venus, because Venus is the wife of Mars. Okay, so Venus was so mad with rage. She was so annoyed, and especially her son Cupid. Okay, Cupid was so angry and annoyed that he had in fact broken his arrows. Okay, and he had said that now he would never make humans fall in love. Okay, but he would rather shoot sparrows and play with them and be a boy. Alright, so here Iris says you don't have to worry about their company, because I saw them flying towards Paphos. They were in a chariot drawn by dove, and they rather looked upset because they so wanted to play their charms upon this man and woman, Ferdinand and Miranda, and make them bed each other and break their vows. Okay, and since they were not invited, they were so upset that Venus was mad with rage, and Cupid had broken his arrows and said that now he will no longer make humans fall in love, but rather play with sparrows. Alright, and then Ceres says, highest queen of state, great Juno comes, I know her by her gait. So Ceres says, the queen of the sky has approached. So here comes the goddess of the sky, Juno, because I can say from the manner in which she walks. Gait means the manner in which the person walks. Okay, so here now comes Juno, and Juno addresses them. How does my bounteous sister? Go with me to bless this twain, that they may prosperous be and honored in their issue. Okay, so Juno comes in, and Juno is the wife of Jove or Jupiter or Zeus. Okay, and Juno is the supreme god of the sky. Alright, Juno comes in and greets the two, that is Iris and Ceres, by saying, how do you do, my lovely sisters? So let's go now. We must go and celebrate the love between Ferdinand and Miranda, and we must bless them. Okay, so now the masque begins. Alright, so there we have Ferdinand, we have Miranda, we have Prospero, and we have many spirits there dancing and hovering in the air. Okay, it is a grand illusion. Everything is so magical and enticing. Alright, and now Juno and Ceres, they shower their blessings upon the married couple. Okay, they dance and sing their blessings. So first Juno sings, honor, riches, marriage blessings, long continuous and increasing. Early joys be still upon you. Juno sings her blessings on you. Okay, so first Juno gives her blessings upon the young couple, and she sings her blessings by saying, this is my blessing to you. May your married life be very successful and fruitful. Okay, may it be very successful. May you be very happy and blessed in your marriage, not just in the initial phase of marriage, but long and continuous. But may you be happy and content throughout your marriage. May each hour of your married life be filled with joy. This is my blessings upon you. Okay, so this is how Juno blesses the young couple. And now it is Ceres, the goddess of agriculture and fertility. Okay, so Ceres sings, earths increase, poison plenty, barns and garners never empty, vines with clustering bunches growing, plants with goodly burden bowing. Spring come to you at the furthest, in the very end of harvest. Scarcity and want shall shun you. Ceres' blessing so is on you. So now it is Ceres who bestows her blessings. Okay, and she sings by saying, may you never fall short of anything. May you have abundance of whatever earth produces. Okay, may your granaries, may your barns and your granaries be filled with food and crops. May it never run empty. Okay, may your vineyards be filled with clustering grapes. May the trees be bowing with the weight of the fruit. May you have abundance of everything that the earth produces. May spring come to you at the furthest, okay, and give you a very good and prosperous harvest. May scarcity and want shun you, meaning may you never fall short of anything. This is my blessings upon you. Okay, so since she is the goddess of fertility and agriculture, okay, and the goddess of earth, this is her blessing. She says, may you have abundance of everything that the earth produces. Okay, may your granaries never be empty of crops and foods. All right, may your trees be bowing and stooping with, rich fruits. May your vineyards be filled with growing, clustering grapes. May you never fall short of anything. This is my blessing upon you. Alright, so Ferdinand is taken back with awe and admiration. He has not been accustomed to see all this. Okay, it is a grand illusion. It is magical. Spirits are hovering in the air. Okay, so he is taken aback. He's shocked and surprised. So he says, this is a most majestic vision and harmoniously charming. May I be bold to think these spirits? Okay, so this is what he says to Prospero. He says, this is such a majestic vision. This is so magical and charming. It is so soothing to the ears. This is so grand an illusion. May I ask if these are spirits, Father? Okay, and to this Prospero says, spirits, which by mine art I have from their confines called to enact my present fancies. All right, so Prospero says, yes, you're correct. These are all spirits in front of you. All right, and it is by my art. All right, he's so proud of his art. Okay, his knowledge of liberal studies and magic. Okay, he says, yes, they are in fact all spirits. And with the help of my art, with the help of my powers, I have called them from their confines, from wherever they were. I have called them here to enact my present fancy. Okay, so I have called them here to play these characters, okay, and perform this masquerade. All right, so one very important thing that you have to remember, okay, you must not be confused, and that is that all the dialogues that we have just done between Iris, Ceres and Juno. So Iris, Ceres and Juno, they are not real goddesses coming from Mount Olympus. No, they are not real goddesses. Okay, it is all spirits. They are all spirits enacting the role of goddesses. Okay, remember Prospero, before the masque had begun, Prospero had sent Ariel to call his fellow spirits. So these are all spirits enacting the role of Iris. Okay, it is spirits. It is a spirit enacting the role of Iris, the goddess of rainbow and messenger of Juno. It is another spirit acting the role of Juno, the goddess of the sky. And it is another spirit enacting the role of Ceres, the goddess of fertility and agriculture. Alright, so this is the dialogue between the deities. Spirits actually enacting the role of deities, goddesses. Okay, all Greek allusions. Alright, so I'm sure all your doubts and your queries have been resolved. Okay, so you just have to, remember that they are spirits. Okay, and just that Iris is the goddess of rainbow and messenger of Juno. Juno is the wife of Jove. Okay, and she is the goddess of the sky. And Ceres is the goddess of fertility and agriculture. Alright, and Venus, on the other hand, is the goddess of love and beauty and amorousness and pleasures and sexuality. Okay, and Cupid is the winged angel, okay, who is often painted blind, holding a bow and an arrow, and he is supposed to make people fall in love. Okay, so with that note, I'll call it a day then. So I think it is quite clear to you all. If you still have any doubts and queries, please feel free to drop a message in the comment box. Okay, and if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, then please do so, and please don't forget to hit the notification bell. Alright, so thank you so much.